gentlemen, welcome back to channel Y.O.B. Today I'm doing a video discussion on James Gunn. The title of this video, Aggressively Mediocre. Um, this is the day before the Superman movie release, and I'm just wondering, maybe I'll watch this movie and I'll be surprised, but I'm highly doubting it. Give me 1 second. But yeah, James Gunn. All right, it's been bugging me, and I just want to just make this video and get this off my chest about this director, and I want to acknowledge the James Gunn cult members and the Zack Snyder cult members. It's like that Family Guy bit where the two people are the I think they're brother and sister. They're arguing on a couch, and the dad walks by. They're like arguing and arguing, and then the dad walks by and he just looks at both of them and like, you're both terrible. That's literally how I feel about the James Gunn cult and the Zack Snyder cult. I think both of you groups are like dumb. I'm sorry. You guys are worshiping directors who don't know you. It's like you're not being like, dynamic or like authentic in your analysis of these films by these two directors. Okay, Zack Snyder has made some good films. I think Zack Snyder has made more recognizable films and iconic films, which really is just him plagiarizing and ripping off the comic book page for page for certain shots, which is just you're taking someone else's like vision and just putting it on the screen, literally. And that's why I don't really give him a lot of credit, because when he's left his own devices, he clearly shows us that he cannot direct. Like the man made Army of the Dead and Rebel Moon, and those two things are just they're not. Rebel Moon is not watchable. Like literally, the movie is unwatchable. Like it's this like what is this? This is like Army of the Dead is just mind-bogglingly bad. I don't care. It's not about taste. If you like that movie, you have bad taste in cinema, and we need to start calling people out that bad taste in cinema. It's like, please get off YouTube. Please stop reviewing films. We get it. You like the fucking movie, okay? You don't have to like attack and demoralize or antagonize people who dislike the movie. It's like, if you like the movie, good for you. You don't have to sit here and say, oh, if someone dislikes it, they're a hater and such, and oh, why can't people just like things? It's just all these trolls. It's like, dude, maybe there's a world where this shit is just bad. Did you ever think about that? And maybe you're just liking it, but that doesn't mean that subjectively is bad. But yeah, no. Zack Snyder, he had a track record of competently made films from history. From the last few, I have realized this man cannot direct. Like he's just not. He's just, I don't know if it's like he literally got all his ideas from the comic books he ripped off. But it's just like, bruh, this is just, you can't. It feels like when you start doing shit on your own. But I'm not gonna even just go. I could make a whole video about Zack Snyder, but James Gunn, like, okay, like he wrote Dawn of the Dead. All right, I don't necessarily like the script for Dawn of the Dead. I think it's like, first of all, I don't really think we need some white guy, doing a whole like Boys in the Hood scene with the one black guy that had the pregnant girlfriend talking to the cop, and he's trying to tell him like, oh, you could just say a few hail marys and wipe your ass and then go about just like, why are we doing this right now? Like, why are we having this Boys in the Hood scene right now? And it's like, it'd be one thing if it was a black writer that did this. It's like, we don't need you, James Gunn, to tell us about black problems and black community problems. It's just in a zombie movie. It's just kind of like, what are we doing? That's one thing but that's like the first thing I that I could point out in his career that I like, is, but I don't love it. It's just, it's all right. Guardians of the Galaxy he did. I know he did other films. I know he did like the Scooby Doo movies, and honestly, those movies are just written. That shows you that like his writing. I don't think he directed those. He wrote those movies, but it shows you his writing is just trash. Like the guy is just like he wanted to make a rated R Scooby Doo back then too. So it's just like I don't know. And then he does the Guardians of the Galaxy movie. For the MCU. The first one, I liked it. I loved it back then. Before he got on my nerves. And we kept hearing about this fucking director. I loved that movie. I thought it was pretty good. I thought that it had a good characters in it. I thought the humor was balanced pretty good. I didn't think it was over too much. I thought it was a good balance of humor. The Drax character was more, believable, and it's like he actually was like more of a tragic character. Gamora, she was more a realistic character. Like her story, you actually felt it more. Star-Lord, I mean, yeah, he was humorous, but it's like he was more funny because the world felt like everybody else was more taking what they were doing more seriously. It felt more grounded, and I do remember there's another writer that wrote the film with James Gunn, so I wonder how much of the good stuff was from the other writer, because in the second film, this is when I started becoming a James Gunn where I started disliking James Gunn's work, like where I started having disdain for him. It's just the way he made Guardians of the Galaxy 2 was just like he just doubled down on everything being just a joke, where everything was just silly. It got to the point where it's like, bro, like this is not comic book writing. It's just if you read comics, there's a lot of mature storylines by certain writers. It's like comic books are not necessarily silly. It's like maybe if you're going back to like the old school, but even the old school back in the day, they had Batman with a fucking pistol shooting people, and so it's like your comic books have a long history of being pretty dark and mature. Even the animated cartoon, like I was watching yesterday, Justice League the New Frontier. It's like the 1940s animated Justice League animated movie, and I remember like the beginning of the movie, the guy literally points the gun at someone, blows his brains out. And it's just like, it's pretty violent. I'm like, dude, this is in an animated movie. It's like it's insane that animated movies for kids are treating kids more like adults and more mature in the storytelling than live action movies with bigger budgets. It's just like this doesn't make sense. That even live action movies tend to be marketed to an older audience usually because of the fact that it's like, oh, this is going to be we're reaching a bigger audience. This is not just going to be like a Saturday morning cartoon. This is going to be like going to be on in theaters. So we need to like kind of have something for adults to like too. And it's just James Gunn, it failed so miserably of pulling that off with Guardians of the Galaxy 2, man. It was just but the biggest cinema sin for me is when Star-Lord finds his father, which his father is like this being that's like a planet, and he could shapeshift and all that into a human and all that, and he tells his son, about how he got his mother sick from cancer and stuff, and then it's like a tragic moment, and it actually got to me. I was like, oh my god, we're actually having an emotional moment here. We're actually, oh my god, this is a scene that's actually like getting to me emotionally. Is actually evolving Star-Lord as a character. He actually is going through an arc now. Like now he's gonna be really he's gonna be more mature. Like this is his dark moment. This is his dark moment. But not sorry, it's my cat. Says she's right here. I'm just gonna get her. She says hi. Oh. Oh. Say hi, Chewie. Chewie, say hi. She's just chilling. So yeah, where was I? Um, but yeah, it's Guardians of the Galaxy 2, the ending when Star Lord finds his father. His father tells him like, yeah, I know your mother, and he kind of just tells him in like in a cynical like evil way, like, yeah, I'm the reason she died, and but she was, like, because he was going around sleeping with other females on different planets and reproducing on different planets, and he was getting these women sick and killing them, as I think. But yeah, it was a very dark moment, and Star Lord, it should have been a moment where he, it was a character development moment where it's like, okay, now he's more serious. It's like, and you had Kurt Russell playing his father. Kurt Russell's great in it, and then he just turns into he turns the scene into a joke by making Star Lord turn to Pac-Man and attack him. And it's just like, I remember literally in a cinema watching that scene and being so upset because it was just like I was actually getting emotional, and I was like, wow. I'll put you down. She's like, please stop. But I was actually getting emotional for the first time, and I was like, wow, this is actually, because the whole movie really was getting like pissing me off. Like, it was just too much jokes, and it was just after a while I was like, all right. It's just like, I don't know if it's the German in me, but it's just like, I remember I took a German class and they said, like, in Germany, if you just like say something, like, if you're always joking but you're not funny, people start looking at you like you're dumb. Everybody, unlike Americans, where we just kind of laugh just to not to be awkward, we'll just give you a pity laugh, like, ah. Germans are gonna be like, I I don't get it. I don't get it. Okay. Can you stop, please, with the jokes? Because you're not funny. Please. Nine. You're not comedian. You're not a comedian. It's like, yeah, I'm just like, and that's James Gunn to me. It's like he just tries so hard to be funny. It's like, okay, it's like, dude, enough. Like, it's a Marvel movie. You don't have to be like nonstop jokey. And it feels more like you're disrespecting, and bastardizing these characters after a while when you keep joking. It feels like you're not taking what you're doing seriously. It's like, this is just funny, right? This is just so ridiculous. This is wacky. It's like, no, I grew up with this. I got through depression with these comic books. I went through traumatic experiences, and these comic books got me through it. So it's like, this comic books mean a lot to people. It's not this does I don't, maybe to you growing up and your history of comic books, it felt like, oh god, silly. It's like, dude, I still read comic books, like even my gas station, like I'm so happy they actually had a comic book stand, which is cool. I think all gas stations should have it. I got this comic book, Superman, The Authority, and I need to start reading it. But it's like, I still read comic books. I love comic books. I love, like, and these comic books are mature. It's like, hold on, I'm trying to, 1 second. Sure. I draw my own comic books. So I'm just like I'm actually a huge fan of comic books. I'm a huge fan of these characters. So this comes from a passionate place. Like, this comes directly from my heart. And this thing is like starting to bother me now in the discourse online, which is like, it's just like, it's black and white. It's just like, okay, there's never like a complex, nuanced take on anything. It's never like, okay, we can, even if you love the movie, explain it in detail why you love it. Don't just say, I'm peak. these catchphrase YouTubers, these clickbait idiots, and the same thing with the anti-woke people that's like anti-woke, woke, 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 woke. The same, these people that are talk about Ironheart. Okay, nobody's even talking about Ironheart because it's so bad that everyone saw that from a mile away. But now we got these closeted white supremacist racist YouTubers that go online and dog whistle to racist people, bigotry, about all kind of communities, but act like no, it's just criticism of cinema. I'm not being racist because they want to keep their day job. They don't want to lose their job and get in trouble, But then they could just project and dog whistle racism through their reviews and feed into that resentment, reaction, that kind of audience. There's an audience for that, and they know it, and it makes the money. And there's a lot of people that love gossip. There's a lot of people probably watching their content, not even caring, you know, about the what they're talking about. Like they don't even care about comic books or movies, but they'll just listen to people just bitch about shit because it's like Team Z. That's why people watch Team Z, because they like drama. People love drama, so it just makes it difficult for people to actually have like criticism and actually constructive criticism. Like where it's like it's coming from a passionate, authentic place, a genuine place. Whereas like no, I'm a passionate fan of these characters, these DC characters, and I want to see them depicted well. We've gotten great films already, so it's not like this is something that's foreign and alien. It's like, well, no one's done that yet, so why are you putting all this pressure? It's like, bro, it's been done before. Just watch the original, study the original movies. And it feels like I could respect the director if he at least tried. That's the thing. Say what you will about Superman Returns, okay? I remember watching it. I didn't like it, but I still liked it because it felt like, okay, he's trying to do something, but it's not necessarily working. But you could sense that, okay, he at least was trying to be faithful to the comic. It didn't work in execution, but it's like he was trying to be faithful to the comics, you know. Like. But when you have people like Taika Waititi and James Gunn, you have these directors who literally do not care. It's like this attitude of they are already successful. Like I'm already good, and it's just like he carries himself like he's Stan Lee. Like I never thought that James Gunn was that good of a director to take on as lead of the DC brand. Like literally making all the films that come from DC now. He's gonna be in charge of it. It's like, why? He's not made any kind of project that has earned him the power to just become a whole like leader of DC. Why? Who's coming up with these dumbass ideas? Is it just because you're looking at Twitter and it's like, well, he's popular on Twitter. People talk about James Gunn all the time on Twitter and on the internet, and it's just like, but that doesn't make good movies though. Being popular with the public on Twitter is not the same as being a good director. It's like It's like, oh my god, this is the shit that drives me insane. And the same thing with Taika Waititi. It's like people say they love Thor Ragnarok still. I don't like Thor Ragnarok. When I first saw it, I was like, this movie's bad. I never liked that movie because it's over the top silly, and it really started feeling like it was just like Taika Waititi saw Guardians of the Galaxy and he was like, oh, you could do that, or you could just not take shit seriously. Okay, my turn. It's like, let me take not this seriously. And the thing is, these guys got incentivized because of goodwill. We didn't really know who Taika Waititi is. He just came out of Jojo Rabbit, where it was like about, the Nazi youth kids and all that. And, my back. But, but it's like how the Nazi youth kids were getting like groomed into evil and all that, and it's like he had a good reputation, so we gave him a benefit that the public did. I did too, and then I saw Thor Ragnarok, and I was like, this is trash. Taika Waititi is a horrible director, because it just felt like, okay, it's like it wasn't even, and I don't know if Guardians of the Galaxy 2 came around before then, but it was just like. The moment I saw Thor Ragnarok, I was like, I'm just not wanting to see another movie from this guy because I don't know, man. it's like it was one thing with Guardians of the Galaxy because we didn't know what we were going to get, and it was almost like a hard sell anyway. Because I think if it was taking itself seriously, people probably wouldn't even checked it out because it's just characters we don't know, and it's just like okay, and it had a run a chance of being really boring. So I think that making it like kind of like self-aware and not that and funny, and I think this was around the time before Deadpool, the first Deadpool came out. I think it was before the first Deadpool came out. Guardians of the Galaxy 1 came out, so it was just like we didn't really get a lot of really jokey superhero movies around that time yet. I think around the time Dark Knight already came out, so we're already getting a good amount of serious realism superhero movies. So it was just like it was kind of like something fresh. When Guardians of the Galaxy came out, the first one. But I think that like even Deadpool coming out, like Deadpool. That's why it's like I'm kind of even just Ryan Reynolds playing Deadpool in other movies. It's just like it feels like humor has just it's not good humor too. It's just it's lazy humor. It's just a cop out for a lot of these guys. It's like okay, let's just be silly so we don't have to think and try to make good stories and make compelling characters. Just make everything funny so the character so the audience doesn't have to, So if there's any dislike, it could be argued with, oh, it's not supposed to be taken seriously. It's like, well, okay. It's like it sounds like a way to cop out of criticism or standards. You could just make it. Well, I'm just joking. So why are you taking it seriously? Oh my god, it's just but yeah, James Gunn, man, is just oh my god. It's just Taika Waititi, James Gunn, they're like the same kind of director, man. And it's like people recognize Taika Waititi as bad. Like he made one movie, Thor Ragnarok, and people gave him like they liked it. I don't know why. The movie was just silly and annoying to me. And people talk about Dark World as bad. I rewatched Dark World, and every time I rewatch it, I like it. And I'm like, why does everyone say this movie's bad? And then Thor Ragnarok is good. It's like, dude, Taika Waititi bastardized Planet Hulk, where he's wearing a gladiator suit. I remember going to Borders Library with my brother and my father and seeing that comic book on like the hardcover of it. And I was like, but it was so expensive I couldn't get it at the time, but I really wanted to get it because it looked so badass. And I remember just learning about it and seeing animated movie clips on YouTube back in the day and stuff, and just loving the story and that whole concept, and even how he started talking. And when he started talking, he wasn't like dumb. It was like he was like Conan the Barbarian almost. Like he was not like intellectually superior, but he was still like a warrior talking, So it was a badass thing. It's like, okay, let's just turn the whole battle with him, the gladiator armor, turn it into one big joke. Have Thor walk out, say, "Oh yeah!" And I remember seeing a trailer of him doing that. I was like, "Oh, you gotta be fucking kidding me!" Because I was actually kind of happy when I saw the suit. I was like, him wearing the gladiator armor. I was like, "Oh shit, Planet Hulk! He's wearing the gladiator armor. That's badass!" And then when you see Thor like, yeah, it's like I'm like, oh my god, no. It was immediately just like deflating all my hype moment. His reaction was, yes. So you could have just made a badass, how much more badass it would have been to see Thor, sitting there like seeing the Hulk, and it's like, all right then, now for a real challenge. And then zoom up on his face where it's getting closer, and it's just like you're seeing it zoom up on the Hulk's face, and then because they already had a duel already in Avengers, so to have that ultimate, the whole movie would be almost sold on this ultimate duel between now there's no holds barred kind of match between Hulk and Thor, and it's like how fun. No, let's just make it a dog contact Waititi. It's a friend for work. It's like and these morons online look at that and like, this is a good movie. And then that's why they kept giving us baby back silly shit over and over again. And now people looking at them all these movies like the Marvels and Ironheart and all these films that feel like it's silly. Like they're like, dude, you guys like anything. We didn't have like you don't have any standards. That's what happens is when you don't have standards and you just consume product and you love all the films that come out and you're not willing to judge it because oh God forbid I don't get a screen early press pass and a screener and get like VIP interviews with James Gunn. Real rejects. I don't know how anybody has watches and subscribes to that channel that are just basically employees to Warner Brothers and studios. The guy, literally, real rejects. These guys don't have any actual real criticism. The one dude with the long hair on the side who's just oh yeah, everything's great. Wow. It's just like, dude, you guys are not critics. You're just fanboys, and it's just like, okay, that's cute when you're like a young teenager and you're like, wow, you know, other people there look older than me, you know, that are into comic books. But as you get older and life gets a little bit more serious and things get kind of more like, okay, can you just tell me the truth? Like, is this good? Like, just be honest. I don't want to hear your bullshit like kissing up to the studio. Like, tell me, the audience, the people that pay you and watch and subscribe to you, the truth. That's all you can do. That's why I can't stand this toxic positivity fan culture, man. Where it's like they don't, it's almost like it's like, we need the money from our channels or subscribers. We need those VIP interviews. It's like, why? I'm telling you, if you just be honest, you probably get more views and more people trusting you, and you'll get more actual passionate, like people who love your content because you're being honest. I don't know why you're pandering to corporations who don't give a damn about you and your audience. If you fail tomorrow, they're not going to bail you out. So I don't understand why you're trying to appeal to them by loving every damn thing that comes out, when even though you're seeing the cinemas are dying, these movies are flopping, people are starting to not have enthusiasm for the theater because the content that we're getting is shit. And because you go online and you praise a movie doesn't mean that is going to make the movie successful. You know, and it's just like, oh my God, man. You know, and this thing, like, James Gunn, to me, like, this new Superman, to me, does not look like Superman. And this is what this whole video really is leading up to. James Gunn is aggressively mediocre, man. James Gunn is aggressively mediocre. Like, aggressively mediocre. Like, I don't know what else to say. It's like, you know, it's like I'm getting tired of all these mediocre talent getting work. Like, they lose upward. You know, it's like, did his last movie, The Suicide Squad, bomb in the theater? You know, and I'm pretty sure we've had movies in the theater that were successful financially during COVID. So it's not no thing of, oh, it was during the pandemic. It's like, I don't believe that, because I think when movies were successful, when the movie was good, because Oppenheimer and Barbie, I think, was coming around during the pandemic time, and they made a lot of money. You know, so there's a lot of movies that came out and made a lot of money during the pandemic time. It's just because the movie was a hype behind it, and it was something new, and it was something genuine that was going on. You know, the Suicide Squad, it just felt like through the trailers, it was just like, hey, you Guardians of the Galaxy, but this time it's rated R. It was just literally nothing that it differentiates from Guardians of the Galaxy. Like, the storytelling, everything just feels the same. You know, and it's just like, oh my God, bro. And it's just like, he has this like totally like 2004 like crude, you know, sense of humor that's like so like outdated in my opinion now, where it's just kind of cringy and annoying. And only like really like just people kissing his ass will laugh at it, because it's like, it's just these fanboys that'll just be, oh, I love it, it's because I love James Gunn. It's like, dude, this is not funny, bro. This is whack. These are jokes that were like written in like 2003, 2004, when this guy is popular. The dude has arrested development disorder, man. The guy can't, like, that's what I'm saying. His writing is just this. He writes the same stories, all team up films, all team up. Even the Dawn of the Dead, from the first things I saw by him. Dawn of the Dead is a team up film. Fucking Scooby Doo team up film. Fucking Guardians of the Galaxy team up film. The Suicide Squad team up film. Superman, a movie that should be literally about Superman, team up film. It's like, bro, this guy, he just writes the same scripts all the time, and you guys praise him for what? He made one movie that was, in our perception, good, and honestly, subjectively, is a good film, because I really do believe that other writer he had, she balanced things out. She gave some depth to some of these characters, because in the second movie, it was like she wasn't there, and he was like, all right, fuck it, let's just go crazy, everybody make jokes. Drax lost all his depth as a character. Like, Drax used to be a dark warrior character, and then he was just like, oh, I'm just watching and not moving. And that's literally, you made Batista, like this great actor, turn into like a mascot, like a clown. And it's just like, okay, so Star-Lord's a clown, Drax is a clown, Gamora is sort of acting like a clown because it's like everybody else is acting like, so she has to play into it. The Rocket Raccoon is a clown, fucking Groot is a clown. And the whole thing with Vin Diesel, that whole thing too, I never liked that. It's Vin Diesel, you just have him making a voice saying, I'm Groot. That's it. That's the dumbest fucking casting of all time. Like, okay. And another thing I just remember too, I can't stand James Gunn putting his fucking brother in films, dude. Like, nobody wants to see your fucking weird looking brother in films, alright? This is not, it's nepotism to the max. Like, we don't want to see your brother in films. It was like, why? It's just these people. It's like people who like James Gunn, honestly, stress me out more than the Zack Snyder. Because it's like people, I understand Zack Snyder because he at least had some films, even though it was plagiarized from the comics. Let's get that straight. He just took shit literally off the comics and just said, put it on the screen. That's it. He didn't really do anything. Just make that what it looks like on the comic, put it in a fucking movie. So it's like, that's not really doing much, you know. But yeah, I'm not gonna go into him. But yeah, it's like James Gunn, man. He's so bad. His writing is so bad. It's just like, bro. And it's like, dude, the only thing is, yes, he is so sporadic and all over the place that yes, it could be entertaining to watch because it's almost like it's kind of like a car crash. It's like, you know, it's like, yeah, it's like, you know, it's entertaining where you're watching, but at the same time it's like, damn, that's fucked up, kind of like, in not a good way. It's, you know, it's like, this is not something I want to see every day. You know, it's just like, wow, okay, that was something. But it's like, and that's the thing, I don't really want a Superman movie to be, oh wow, okay, that was something. It's like, that's not what I want. I think Superman should feel safe. Some movies that you don't need to do all that extra weird shit with. And I don't like these people that are giving him a pass and saying, like, I was watching this one guy review it and he just saw it I think yesterday, early screener, and he was saying how, oh, it's completely different than all the Superman that you've seen in live action, and he's like saying it like it's a good thing. I'm like, bruh, I don't want to see that though. That's the thing. It's like, I don't want Superman to be completely different. I don't want, because James Gunn just does that in every movie. I don't want that, and it's like crazy that you're accepting this. Like, why? It's just like some things should just be safe. It's like, you know, sometimes you know, it's, yeah, you like, sometimes, you know, I just want a cheese sandwich. All right, you know, maybe, you know, as a director, you come in there and do some weird stuff, like, and put some pepper on there, some oregano and on cheese, change the cheese to mozzarella, change it up a little bit, but it still needs to have the basic ingredients: cheese, bread, and toasted. That's it. I don't want raw bread, raw cheese, and some celery and peanut butter on it. And then, well, you know, that's just James Gunn. He see the way you thought about cheese sandwiches before. Don't think about that anymore. This is James Gunn's cheese sandwich. It's like, but that's not. It's like, but it's like, okay, but you're letting somebody experiment on something that's sacred ground. It's like, some things should be sacred ground. Directors that come in and do things like work on superhero movies like Batman or Superman should not come in and change things so drastically just because, oh, they're just, that's who they are. It's like, no, keep the core foundation of what it is. Yes, you give a certain style to it, a little flair to it. You add your own little spin on it a little bit. You know, that's why for the most part I love Matt Reeves' Batman, the Batman. Because he's not changing things. He's putting little elements in there. He's not changing things drastically where it's like, what the fuck? You know, it's like, no. And he's adding upon it. He's making it a little bit darker. You know, he's taking influences from movies like Seven and the good films. You know, and that's the thing. Is like, if you want to do something, take influences from the greats. Don't just do some random shit you just thought of yesterday. You know, with no kind of weight, no kind of build up, no kind of second thought, no kind of development. It's just like, yeah, I just do it. And I knew this was gonna be a bad movie. I knew this. That's the thing I haven't seen yet, but from everything I've seen, it's not what I want. It's too silly. Okay. And it's like, yes, you can have Superman be silly, but it's like, it's just the way it's done. It's just not funny and it's not charming. And when he's done it so many times in his films that it doesn't come across as, oh, he's doing this for Superman. It feels like it's just, this is who he is in the way he directs films. And I just don't want to see James Gunn. I want to see Superman. You know, when I watch Christopher Nolan's The Dark Knight, I'm not sitting there thinking Christopher Nolan. I'm thinking, damn, this is a really good Batman movie. That's all I'm thinking. Like, wow, I love Christian Bale as the Dark Knight. You know, wow, I love Heath Ledger as the Joker. Wow, I love the cinematography. Wow, I love the music. Wow, that's what I'm thinking. I'm not thinking, yeah, this is Christopher Nolan, and I have to accept it. I have to learn to accept Christopher Nolan. It's like, no, you know, and to be honest, he had to develop as a director too, because to be honest, I didn't really like Batman Begins when when I first saw it. I was kind of like, I don't know, maybe I don't remember, maybe I did like it because I did play the Batman Begins video game on PS2, but maybe I did like it as a kid because it was a new Batman and all that. But I don't know, man. I don't know. I think the more the movie aged with me, and I grow to not like it the more and more I think about it, because it's just, I don't like how Gotham looked. I didn't like. It's just, the movie felt very boring. It just felt like it was not enough Batman. The suit looked fucking horrible. The Batman Begins bat suit. I think I liked it as a kid. I think I did like that movie. I did like Batman Begins as a kid, but as I got older watching it, I was just like, ugh. And that's why when Dark Knight came out, I was just like, wow, this is so much more improvement. This is amazing. Like, Dark Knight is the best Batman movie of all time. You know. But yeah, it's like, that's the thing. I think a great director, they do such a good job. You're not spending time thinking about the director you're watching. You're just like amazed by what they're doing, and it's like even Luca Guadagnino. Like when I'm watching his films, he has a certain style. It's his type of film, but it's not like I'm sitting there watching the film thinking, this is Luca Guadagnino, this is Luca Guadagnino. Yep, he's a peak cinema, peak cinema. It's like, I'm not saying shit like that. I'm just like, wow, this is a great film. Like, I love how this director puts this stuff together. I'm really enjoying the ride they're putting me on. I love the craftsmanship. I love the way they think. It's like, there's so much coming with it. It's like, I could give you details of what I like from them. Where James Gunn is just, he's just a cult-like personality. That's it. The guy just got pity. Well, first of all, he got his fame from Guardians of the Galaxy 1, which he got help writing with. Then he got more fame from getting canceled from Disney because of the tweets he wrote. He had come back up, which I don't think any of you James Gunn fans even read those tweets and realize how weird those tweets are. It's like, he's mocking child, SA, and it's like, I don't know. You could joke about a lot of dark things, but something about just laughing about. I mean, it is. If you say it in a way, you can make anything funny if you say it in a certain way. But if you read it, it just comes across like it's not really like you're joking. It's like you're joking to cover for the fact you like talking about this kind of vile shit. because it doesn't come. It's a very flat joke. It's just offensive, and it's like, and I don't find that shit funny. I don't find comedians. In Texas, there's a lot of comedians out there. That's their shtick. Like the one weasel face guy that made fun of Puerto Rico. I forget his name, but you know what I'm talking about. The guy that made fun of Puerto Rico. He's like this is those. That's like the modern comedians. Like they have bad comedic timing. They don't say shit that's actually funny. And all they say is like really offensive shit. There's like if they say it in the street somewhere, they'll get their teeth knocked down the throat. But they say it on stage with a mic in their hand, and it's like, dude, he's so funny. He's so edgy. He's like, bro, what are we, fucking 5? Like, what are we in high school still? Like, what are we, little kids? Like, what is this still what entertains you as a grown man? Just he says offensive shit. It's like talk about intellectually like, oh man, intellectually disabled for real. It's just like wow. But it's like yeah, man. James Gunn to me is like, I'm just really upset because if this movie is successful, it doesn't matter if I like it or not. He's gonna continue to make more of these, and he's gonna work on Batman. He's gonna work on the whole, and it's just like, bro. And it's like it'd be one thing if it was like, okay, he's making his little like pocket universe, and then you got another director making his own Superman, and his it's like the comics. Like that's the one thing I love about comics is that we didn't all have to be like trapped in one universe with one writer director talking about these superheroes. You could see another writer come along or another director, another illustrator come along and give you a different taste or a different perspective and a different style, something that probably fits your taste more, where now it's like no, we all have to have everything funneled through fucking James Gunn's perspective, and I'm like, I don't want to watch all my heroes I grew up with through his perspective. His perspective is juvenile and stupid. James Gunn is so aggressively mediocre, and it just boggles my mind that we're sitting here comparing these Zack Snyder and James Gunn to like we're talking about these directors like as if they're like we're talking about Francis Ford Coppola, Christopher Nolan, or fucking Ridley Scott, or fucking Martin Scorsese. The YouTubers and film critics talk about these two mediocre damn directors more than actual real directors, man. It's just like, bro, you people, oh my god. It's like, it's just pure low IQ, man. These people are dumb. It's just dumb. And it's like, bro, James Gunn is just, I don't want to, it's like, I'm going to go see it tomorrow. I'm going to try to go see it. I don't know. And I got it spoiled from the channel I watch. I think it's Amazing Animation. It used to be Amazing Lucas. Shout out to his channel. I mean, I don't agree with everything he says in politics, and I don't like talking about politics because politics that it makes me dislike people when we start like because it's just I don't like talking about politics because it's just believe what you want to believe as long as you're not insane around me. That's all I gotta say. So it's just like that's all I gotta say. But yeah, I watched this video and he explained it, and I mean like. The story to me just sounds all over the place. It sounds like, to me, personally, what if I was given the reins to direct a reboot of Superman, I will, and not even just Superman, I was given the reins to basically reboot or make a whole DC universe, cinematic universe. I would start off slowly, like Iron Man. I would totally watch the path. Marvel is like, God. It's like, guys, you have the blueprint of how to make these universes that you're so desperately trying to make. It's sitting right there. You guys just put on the MCU timeline of films and you'll see exactly how to do it. It's all there. It's like, this is not rocket science. It's just like, shit, just copy and paste their shit. Just put different characters in it. Iron Man, just Superman. Okay, you want? We're starting a new universe, and we're starting with Superman. Okay, what am I going? Where? I don't know. Where can I get inspiration from? Iron Man. Okay, what did Iron Man do? Iron Man was a simple, small story, a story-driven, a character-driven story of Tony Stark, basically overcoming his demons of ego and narcissism, realizing that his weapons are being used to kill innocent people, so he builds a weapon to get those weapons back from the bad guys, and be a beacon of good, to use his weapons for good, to defend innocence. Okay, simple story. You got what, a main villain and a sub villain. The sub villain is the terrorist leader. Okay, and then you got the main villain, who's secretly his assistant or his supervisor, that becomes like the main villain at the end. Yeah, okay, we got a simple story. These are not it's not involving any mutations, not involving metahumans, it's not involving all this crazy shit. It's a simple story. Okay, we go. I've seen that. I'll transfer that kind of story to Superman as the first boot up of a DC universe, cinematic universe. I would have a simple story, the origin, and I'm so tired of these directors who get these new characters. No, not new characters, but they get to write new stories for these characters and pretty much have them be different versions of these characters, and they act like, oh, I don't have to do origin story because we know. But that's the thing. No, we don't. Your version of that character is not the same version as the other director or writer's character. You have to show the origin of your version. And it's not boring. Just add a different, have something different happen. You know? Instead of like I've said before in videos, I was like, instead of having Pa Kent die, have Ma Kent die. Have a different dynamic. Have her die. So then you see, and then have a different, like, he's doing his father, going through depression and being an alcoholic, and he has to, help him out, and say it's okay, and it's like, you can make something with that. That's what I'm saying. Add something like that. That's new. We don't need, to be honest, we don't need crypto in these movies. And if you do use crypto, have them be simple. And if you're gonna use them, have a payoff in like a third movie. Think about that down the road. Just have them there as like, hey, maybe you'll see something crazy about this dog later. We don't need to have crypto involved in the finale. My thing would be like Lex Luthor. No, I think it would be like Superman versus the government. I would go that far. I'd be like, it would be the main antagonist will be the government, the U.S. government against Superman. Let's make it just plain and simple. We don't need, we could hint to the next movie being Zod or Lex Luthor. I think Zod should be the Lex in the second movie, and Lex Luthor should be a third movie. Because Lex Luthor is his iconic nemesis. And if you really want to, if it does well enough, then the fourth movie we could make a part 1, part 2 Doomsday. That's how my brain be working. It's just like, no, simple story. Superman just versus the government. At first he's dealing with crime and he's just trying to stop natural disasters, and then eventually the main threat is the government coming down and say, hey, okay, we need to control you because you're like some alien running around here. I wouldn't even have anything else. I wouldn't have no other superheroes present at all. Superman would be the spark that begins this superhero meta awakening. People will start recognizing it. Classified documents will start becoming declassified because, like, well, since there's literally a guy walking around that could fly, weird. It's like my brain is already working. It's like I want something that's grounded, because the fun of reading comic books, the fun of watching these superhero movies is having this illusion that you're watching these characters, these superheroes in real life. Like, what would happen? What would it be like to have Superman in real life? What would it be like to have the Hulk in real life? What would it be like to have Spider-Man in real life? That's the fun. I think that's the gold that comes from these characters. It's not just they're super and they fly and they have laser beams and they can punch really fast. It's like, that's not really what it's like. it's really for me. That's why when people explain comic books to me, I get bored because like they be. I mean, I love comic books, but it's like that's what I'm saying. I'm very picky about certain stories, though. It's like if you tell me a relatable story, then I'm like, yes, I like this. But when you tell me these stories of like, oh, the Superman goes to the different dimension, and then he has the power to punch in through the dimension field, and then the field breaks, and then the multiverse is like, dude, what are we talking about? This has nothing to do with anything. Like, I don't care. Maybe it will make it be more interesting if you build up from a grounded place, like the MCU did, and work your way up into that. But it's just like, bruh, I don't know, man. It's just. I've said enough. I think I said enough about this guy. I've hit 50 minutes, and it's like, I think I said all that I could say about this whole topic. James Gunn is aggressively mediocre, and I'm just really frustrated with the state of cinema. How we just there's no quality anymore, check it anymore. It's just there's no standards anymore. It's just whoever makes the most money gets to just do whatever the fuck they want kind of attitude. It's just like I don't know. That's why we were getting these Godzilla times Kong movies because it's like, well, they made money. It's like, okay, I guess we're just gonna watch trash over and over again. It's just like, oh my god, I don't know. That's why I'm really like into drawing again because it's like I just need to let out creativity because I have vision and it's like I just want to see someone with vision make shit. I don't want to see some hack who's just a industry pigeon who's just been in the industry for a long time that hasn't done anything culturally like iconic with their career. Yes, they have had successes, but it's just like okay, but it's not anything like iconic enough to be like in their track record spotty. So it's like I don't know, man. I mean I hope for the best. Maybe this movie will change my mind if I watch it. But from what I've heard, I just don't like what I'm hearing, and I'll give you guys a review tomorrow of it. I'll theater review of James Gunn's Superman. So that actually, because I think as much hate as I'm giving this film, I at least should go see it with my own eyes and give you guys a actual review, instead of just bitching about a movie. But that's all I gotta say today, ladies and gentlemen. As always, may the force be with you. Peace and out.